Senator Matthews.
Aye.
Senator Schumer. Senator Chicago. Oh, here. Sorry. Senator Romano.
Here.
Senator Donald.
Here.
Senator Sanders.
Here.
Senator Norton. Senator Schwartz. Senator Riley. Senator Linsman.
Here.
Senator Lewis. Here. Senator Bentley. Senator Johnson.
Here.
Senator Estes Valencia. Senator Foster.
Here.
Senator Mouton. President Fennell. President Perillo.
Here.
President Lamb. President Howard.
Here.
Student Trustee Long. Along my House Representative Vogel. CSD Representative Salazar. SAC Representative Tigerman. Director of Service Programming, Chow. Club Coordinator Chang. Club Coordinator Bennett. Director of Public Smith.
Here.
Secretary Jones. Secretary Sweat. Vice President Segura Santos. President Alvarez.
Here. Okay, so there are no minutes from last week's meeting because there was not a meeting. So yeah, so starting with our first guest speaker, I'd like to introduce Dean Brown. Do you have a presentation you wanna?
Yeah, I just have, just wanted to follow up from the last meeting I was here, so come back and give some updates, so I just wanted to share, some updates with you today. The first one is that a consulting firm has been selected, but we're waiting on the contract to be finalized before, the name of the consulting firm is shared broadly with the community. So as soon as that contract is signed and everything is in place, that information will be shared with everyone. The second thing is that we're in the process of exploring a campus-wide speaker system to be used as a communication means in addition to the 911 Shield app we have and email and those things. But we're in the process of seeing how to. We have one, but I don't think it covers the entire campus. So we're looking at making sure we have that capability. The training for the community around safety, including bronchi fight and shelter in place, that's being finalized and the dates are being selected. We are expecting to begin offering those in the beginning of November. That is, we're working with the county sheriff to develop and get some dates that they could be present at that as well. So again, we expect those to begin in the beginning of November. We're working on new and expanded posters, emergency posters that have information. These will be posted. They're already posted in classroom now, but they will be revised and updated, posted around campus in classes and in offices. We are expecting that to be done in the next week or two. And this will include information about, again, bronchi fight and shelter in place. We've added to our communications protocol that after an initial emergency text is sent, that there will be a follow-up text sent to update the community on where things are every 15 to 20 minutes until an all clear or until the incident is completed. So That's been added to our communications protocol. This is just as a reminder that messages that require kind of that immediate action, such as run, hide, fight, or shelter in place, that will all go out via text. But additionally, it will go out through email, social media, and it will be posted on the website as well. So covering all of those meetings. I can't actually remember if I came the last time I here, if that was before or after we tested the app. But we did test the app, and that was successful. We also sent information via email to parents and families to let them know how they could sign up for alert messages. And then the last update I have is that over the next few days, the Wellness Center is going to announce a 24/7 student counseling helpline that will be available for students in need of crisis counseling services. The Wellness Center has been working on this for a while. They expect that this crisis line will go live on Monday, but you should get more information and specifics about that coming out from the Wellness Center over the next couple of days. Any questions? Yes.
Regarding the wellness center, do you know if it'll be trained professionals or students that are 24 hour?
If it will be,
Will it be trained professionals or will it be like student volunteers that are doing their calls?
these will be trained professionals, it won't be students. It's confidential, and it's obviously it's free, but it'll be professionals. Yes.
Hi, is the hotline connect to the wellness center itself? Is it gonna be like the wellness center where it's offering hotline, or is this to connection on campus, like to you know where people are talking to, is it on and on?
Right. They will not be, so this is a service that we're contracting with, so they won't be physically on campus. But the reason that we have chosen this organization is because they've been working closely with our wellness center to understand our protocols and our processes. And so when you call, they will answer, they will answer specifically for, the college, and not kind of some kind of random folks that you're calling, but they'll be specifically trained people who know that you are our students and are working with the wellness center to assist in any way.
You mentioned that you're looking at getting an all-campus speaker system.
Yeah.
But you said parts of campus already have this feature. Could you talk about that a little bit more? Where what parts are covered currently?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I think that I think that on the historic side of campus, I think there is there's a speaker on that side, but I'm not positive. I think maybe over closer to this side of campus as well, but I'm not positive about the range. If particularly given the new stadium, that the range of that current system, if it covers completely the entire campus. So that's what we're looking at, and the need to upgrade that.
Toward the beginning of when you were speaking, you were talking about a consulting firm. What consulting firm?
So I mentioned, and President Jordan mentioned in the state of the college that we are looking at a consultant that is going to come in and do an evaluation and make recommendations in terms of the way that we respond to emergency situations. And so this is the consultant that will actually do that work. Any other questions? All right, as I continue to have updates, if you will have me, I will gladly, come back and continue to share. If there are new things that are, available, next week, I'll come and share those things. If not, it will definitely be the following week, so. But if you have questions, please let me know.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. Yeah.
Moving on to student speak out. Do we have any students here to speak out tonight? No? Going once, going twice? Alright. New business. We only have one thing on the agenda, which is the bike shop vote. Which I mentioned a bit the last meeting that we had, but it's been a minute. So I'll just quickly talk about what you will be voting on. So the bike shop is a SGA charter organization. It functioned, it was funded up until the beginning of this year. I don't remember exactly how long it's been around. Few years,
2010 or 11.
2010. So it's been here for a little bit, but it's not like a permanent kind of, like it hasn't been here since the college opened, is what I'm saying. So essentially the bike shop was a chance for students who were good at repairing and fixing and ordering parts for bikes, for broken bikes for students on campus. Essentially, the process was you would bring your bike in, your broken bike into the bike shop. They would figure out which part you need. You would give them the money for them to order that part, and they would then fix your bike, right? For the past several years, I don't even know how long, we've run into consistent problems with the bike shop, and it's almost always the same problem. So accountability with finance, everything. And yeah, I don't know. I've heard, last year when we were talking about taking the bike shop off of SGA funding, a lot of stuff resurfaced about accusations of bikes being stolen and things of that sort. And so we decided, because when we were writing the budget for this year, so typically, let me rewind for a second. Typically, the SGA gives $12,000 out, just straight out to the bike shop. It's not like they come to fund appeals and request a certain amount of money. We just gave them like $12,000, $10,000, which is a lot of money. And we did at the end of last year, when we were trying to write the budget for this year, we were trying to figure out how much money they would need, if we could make cuts, that kind of thing. And the bike shop could not give us any information about what they had been doing on here. They kept their money in a bag, and that's all we know. So we, by me, I mean like SGA, like the Senate, voted to take it out, essentially, or it will be SG, sorry. When you voted on the final budget, it did not have the funding for the bike shop in it for this year. However, that only applies to this year. So if bike shop wanted, if SGA wanted, they could bring back the bike shop for next year. And so that is what you are kind of voting on tonight, is whether or not you think that the bike shop should continue to have this funding. That does not mean that they can't come back as bike club. It's just saying that we're not gonna let them be a charter organization anymore. We're not gonna employ students, because they did employ 4 or 5 students on campus to repair bikes, which is why it costs $10,000 to run, because we're paying people. So yeah, does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions at all? Sorry, Senator Foster, and then.
So before coming to this meeting, I wasn't able to find anything on the trial. So is there not legislation or
budget, problems were, because you're already in the transfer station, I've never been. I know nothing about like. So hearing all of these problems from previous years makes me automatically like all of them down. Especially for computers, because we don't find. So I wanna know how I can be helpful to my peers and those who like to work here, but not being given any background on the situation in a document or what the suggested improvements are. I feel
There has been a lot of, so I guess, I think this might be answering your question. There have been lots of different plans brought forward to SGA. None of them were written down, from what I understand, about how to improve the bike shop, how people would do better if they managed it. Like Jocelyn, who was the manager last year, had a plan for proposing for bettering the bike shop. But I don't think it happened. That's not to say that it's her fault, it's just that, that plan, but we didn't have that, it never was that concrete, I guess, to say. I don't think there's been any legislation on it, except for the final budget that we passed at the end of last year, which just cut them from, the budget. Does that start with your question? I guess to go into like the part where you want to help your students who do bike, I mean, this is not to say that like the same people couldn't come back and just do it as a club instead of as a charter organization. That's still entirely possible. We're not saying that they can't do what they do anymore.
right.
We're just saying that SGA won't fund it.
Right.
Did that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, so both of our problems have what does that do? Does it just allow us to continue to be a charter organization and then we discuss how we're going to put it on? Like
What are you, yeah, okay, so, sorry, I don't know, I probably should have made that more clear. You are essentially voting on whether or not Bike Shop can continue as an SGA charter organization. If they will be able to receive funding from SGA as a charter organization in the future. So
we're not funding it, we're just saying we can exist, we'll talk about money later.
do you want to just,
Last semester we defunded them, this semester we're saying we're just gonna take them out so that it can be started as a charter organization again, once it's through the legislation.
Okay. So the yes vote would be to reinstate it as a charter organization. Charter track, essentially.
no, there's no bill.
Right. So what are we voting on?
To either make it, like, let it stay as a, like, it's not a bill because it's like your decision, if that makes sense. Like, it's not a bill because it's kind of like what we're doing. It's like, it's a discussion we're having, more than it is like a bill. Does that make sense? Like, so essentially, like, so to vote yes would mean to, would mean they would have a possibility to be funded as a SGA charter organization next year and in the coming years. To vote no would mean you would not be permitting them to come back as a charter organization, only as like a club. Does that help? Yes.
I'm just very confused to go along the lines of what we're voting on exactly, because, well, the bike shop's buying this.
Yes.
And so we need a bylaws amendment to eliminate it as a charter organization.
The Senate has the power to dissolve the bike shop, which is why this is.
Or we would have to dissolve it with a bylaws amendment.
Well, so to dissolve, say, what this vote is to dissolve it. We can make a bylaws amendment on it later, but this is just simply the actions to which whether or not the bike shop can be a charter organization, or if we are not going to fund it as a charter organization. And so it doesn't require a bylaws amendment because it is up to the Senate to decide. Does that not make sense?
No.
Where's the confusion?
No, it's- I mean, I don't like how there's, I guess it sound like, I'm just confused why they're signing like a resolution. But like they're asked, I think we don't vote on like written documents, written
We need to do
bylaws,
some legislation.
resolution.
I agree with that. And if it's written in the bylaws, it should be made. That's.
Yeah, like, how do we think a bylaws amendment would constitute the act of dissolve?
That's correct.
That makes it more concrete.
Well, I mean, there's been no actual legislation on the bike shop, is what we are saying,
Over history.
over history.
Oh, wow.
And how is it funded?
So therefore, that is why we are bringing it to the Senate now as a conversation.
So we're not.
Okay, so,
Sorry, can I, we could.
okay, so I'm confused. How is the bike shop funded if there's never been legislation?
It was, what I understand, they came to SGA however long ago, became part of the budget, and they have discussed with previous administrations what the budget should be.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like at the end of every year, the treasurer, president, and then like the incoming president and treasurer will come in and discuss, what they think, how to make the budget, how to write, or who gets what funding,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they get their funding. It's
Right.
not through, it's not like fund appeals, for example, it's different.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
Maybe we just talk about the issues that Bike Shop has had right now, and could we form a subcommittee to talk about what is the best way to decide the issue in the Senate
yeah,
by review of the Constitution and then come up with the proper.
okay, so like a deep dive into this particular issue, okay.
Jill, can I make a suggestion that maybe you as CRC,
Like this amendment.
or what I think we need to do is just delve into what is the proper way based on, because it's a weird bike shop, Safe Ride, and Point News are all different sorts of organizations within SBA, unlike clubs, and I think we just need to take a look at that and figure out the best way to move forward.
Say my thing is
What was the average that, they were doing here?
10,000.
So, the thing is, they're charging students the works that they're doing, and if they're only employing about 4 students, I work over 20 hours a week, and I would not even make 3,000 a semester, that's after taxes, before taxes. So, where's all the money going? I mean, schools do cost money, but the fact that they're only employing 4 people, and I work over 20 hours a week going to do that.
And that's exactly why we
So, okay,
took them out. Yeah, and that's exactly the issue.
So that's what I
We
wanted.
don't-
so.
Exactly. Yes, and that's understanding. All right, can we keep side conversations to a minimum, please? Yes, and that is exactly the issue that we have with Bike Shop. Which is because we did not know where money was going when we asked for numbers for records, they did not provide any. And that is the kind of key issue. So yes, I think that's a good point. Senator Lewis.
Has anyone from the bike shop offered any changes that they would do differently from last year? Like, we have everyone, who is the bike shop right now? Like, do we have anyone who would be operating the bike shop? Is it still the same person? Is that person had any, like, there any proposition made to not have the bike shop do all of that?
Since voting to defund them, it's basically, since them being defunded at the end of last year, I have not heard from anyone from Bike Shop, any student, the advisor, I have not heard anything from anyone about changes, what they want to change, like, I have not had any.
They even aware that,
Yes, they are aware. They were made, I mean, they, as soon as we decided that we were going to defund them, we sent their exec, the advisor, we sent them emails. We just have not heard back.
I actually spoke to the advisor for Bike Shop over the summer about everything, and he said that he agreed that the Bike Shop in its current system doesn't really work. He was still interested in there being some sort of system for students to help students with bikes, but.
yeah, I agree.
But
Not that.
So he is aware.
Okay. Senator Liston.
But I'm just wondering, so we don't fund that that hasn't been done yet, right? So even if we vote for whatever we use to spend the charter organization, there's not planning on that SGA budget, right?
Well, they have not taken any, like, so from this year, they did not get any money, so they don't have money to give back to us. Basically, what the vote would do would just say that it can't be an SGA charter organization anymore, so it can't receive $10,000 off the bat from SGA anymore. They would have to do something, like, it would have to be a club and do something like, or just go away. But it basically just would mean that it cannot get money from this channel. If that makes, like, it can't be a line item in the budget anymore. Yes. President Howard.
Would it be possible to table this until we have like something on paper saying that we decided to do this?
Yeah, I mean, you can motion to table.
Okay, then I motion to table it.
Sorry, second. Okay, sorry, I like the second motion. Okay, cool.
Can I throw one more thing in there?
Yeah.
Just outside of SBA things, some college policy issues we've run into with them over the years, and it tends to come up. I think maybe we've had 1 or 2 good years where nothing happened, but generally we had students, the managers and staff having parties there. We found liquor bottles and beer bottles left in the place. They have left windows open so that people and friends could access it, even though the space was locked. So it wasn't properly managed as a space as well. That's been something that has come up over the years with them all the time. So, in addition to SBA issues.
Thank you there. Okay, so we'll table this for the next meeting. I think that this is, since it's such a large kind of multifaceted issue, I really like the idea of the subcommittee, and doing like, kind of just having a longer conversation about this, because there is no clear way to go about the workshop. Cause yeah, everybody's kind of constitution and balance. So we'll table this for the next meeting. Is that correct? Just motion to table. Do I hear a motion to table? Yeah, you did it. Yeah, okay, cool. Just want to make sure. Okay, okay, so, no, you're fine.
Who's gonna write this up? Is that gonna be executive or is that gonna be one of us to do that? One of us to do that
You guys should, sponsor it together. That would be, I think that would be a good idea. That's all good. Okay, cool. So, sorry.
Did you go center up?
They can. Okay, so that's it for new business. Officer reports, that's me. So there's a lot going on. PSAC is having its first meeting on Thursday. I'm very excited. I think we are going to get to a lot of some root issues, just either concerning communication. In particular, one of the things that I definitely want to bring up is the messaging system. I've heard from multiple students that it has been really inconsistent, like who's getting what and when. And also staff, the staff, oh my gosh. So the staff was left out a really long time ago. I want to say like 2 or 3 weeks ago, when it was with gunshots right behind Rochester. The email that was sent out to us and to the faculty. The staff did not receive an email. And that was something that brought up at staff senate. And so I would like to bring that up as well, because I think we should, the staff senate has been really supportive of us. So I'd love to, return the support, because they deserve to know if there are gunshots on campus. But they were left out of that mass email. Secondly, sorry, I'm saying from a lot, so I can't remember anything I want to say. The monks. Yes. Oh my gosh. Have you guys seen there are Tibetan monks on campus? They are doing sand and dollar painting in DPC. I have not gone yet, but I'm really excited to go this week. It looks really amazing, and we funded that, or we partly funded that. So go check it out. I think they're pretty much all day for the most part. I think they were like 12 to 6 in DPC doing the sand and dollar painting today. I think it's kind of like that all week. So there are a lot of cool things happening. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, check out the Tibetan monks. I'm sure, like, I'm dying. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a sand and dollar painting. I haven't seen pictures, but it looks really beautiful. I'm really excited. Gosh, what else is happening? There are so many things all happening at once. And, World Carnival. They need 4 more people to sign up for the World Carnival Planning Committee. If you're a first grade, you don't know what World Carnival is, I can tell you. Essentially, it's kind of like this big festival we have in April, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of different like events and like activities going on. A lot of clubs table. There's been a horse. That's cool. Hayden, you're on program sport. Can you help me out to know more about World Carnival than I do?
Last year they told me. That's all I got.
World Carnival's really fun.
There was a meeting, they had musicians and stills walkers, food, trucks out, free t-shirt, clothes, stuff.
World Carnival's great, and they need students' help and input. So there are 4 positions left. I have the link, so if you're interested, I'll send it out on the email to all of you. And if you're interested in signing up, just fill out the Google form, send it to us.
Is this kind of just for SBN or policies?
Open all students.
So did you say what the date was for the World Carnival yet? I was supposed to be, working with Jack on this. We're trying not to cross over dates.
Yeah.
I think once the community forms, then they can say whatever I
It's
think
fun.
like last year there were several problems because like there was rain on it, so it was a perfect storm.
Send our list.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So if I wanted to, this is not
Yeah, I'll send out a link at the end of the meeting, and then you can just copy and paste it in your constituent reports. Yeah. I don't think, I have reports for us.
Jason are also,
Yeah,
the head of the World Carnival Committee. And so if you can get in touch with Rebecca, he will be the person to get in touch with. He's been sending out all student emails. I think we've all received them. So if you or your constituents is interested, I think this is
Dr. Wilson.
I just have a question before we wrap up our meeting. Do we need to talk about safety or hiring sheriffs or what we want to do for
Yes,
Halloween?
that was my next thing. Thank you for reminding me. So next week I'm writing 2 bills, for PS support for Halloween's. You know what Halloween's is? It's a big campus-wide party where we all get on the trains and party. Right? Cool. So easy as that. In the past, Halloween, this is the year before I came here, Halloween's was a mess in the sense that townies came in, people were fighting, people's houses were getting broken into. Like, it was really bad because we didn't have support from PS to close off campus, which is primarily like how we kind of make sure that we have students or students' friends on campus. Speaking of, if you have a friend down for Halloween, make sure you stay with them. We might be doing guest passes again. I'm not entirely sure what the plan of action is at this moment. But if you do plan on having friends, make sure they just have some form of identification and you can they can link themselves back to you if you guys get separated and PS finds them and they're like, they can't identify them as a student on campus because that'll be an issue. So in the past, we have funded lights for the greens in order to make sure that some particularly dark spots are well lit and people are accountable, people are safer that way. That's important. And then we also funded deputies to come down. For Marty Greens last year, there was some contention around funding deputies, primarily because students, most of us are white. Let's not beat around the bush here. So a lot of students, white students, don't have that same kind of relationship with the police. And so we decided, or kind of the issue was that we don't want to put students of color in positions where they feel uncomfortable because this is a PWI. We all don't care if the police are here, but there are students who don't feel comfortable, and we need to be able to recognize that and watch out for that. That was kind of the primary issue with funding deputies. So that'll be something that we vote on next week. The total comes down to $10.90 for everything packaged together. But I was going to write them separately so that if need be, we could fund the lights and not the deputies. But that'll happen next week. Also, I'm changing the Student Life Initiatives Board, which was created by Alan Bernstein, my very good friend, is getting its name changed because it sounds just like SLIC, which is Student Life Infrastructure, thank you, Committee. They sound the same and it's kind of cheesy. So we're just gonna change it so it's a little more distinct and makes more sense. And that's it. Any questions on anything I just said? Okay. Vice President's not here. Student Director of Campus Programming is Institute, and she has announcements. And I have them on my phone. And I will put it up now. It's, yeah. What?
It's the events that are coming up later.
Yeah, so one of them is the World Carnival Committee. PD is hosting a fall fest at Bulls Farm this Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m. The tickets are already paid for and they include pumpkin picking, pumpkin decorating, and corn maze. We will also be offering transportation to anyone who needs. People can expect to see a flyer with more info in the next few days. And lastly, Power Week is next week, so tell them to check inside SMCM and follow us on SMCM PD. And stay tuned for our flyers to see the upcoming events for Power Week. Yeah, Student Director Felicity, do you have any announcements?
Nothing to announce.
Wait, what? Sorry. Treasurer Sweat, do you need to report?
We have fun fuels on Sunday. So we asked something because we didn't have meetings since then. Also, that's it.
Oh, shoot, I'm so sorry. Oh, wait, no, you're not, sorry. Commentary, do you have any reports?
We have an election from Lexington, Tuesday on a 5 Friday at 5 p.m. I would also just want to remind individuals that if you do have any legislation, it will be a question document. And so if anyone has any questions, it will have to be on that document. We will go over those questions during the SGA meeting, just to kind of see how that all goes down. If it works, we'll implement it. If not, we'll find another way so that we are not here super late.
Something is not here, so trustee is not here. I don't know what else is here. Senate report, are there any reports from class officers?
Two things. One, still selling t-shirts. You want to buy one? Hit me up. $15. It looks beautiful. I can show you a picture later. But it's a great shirt. High quality, the finest looking shirt on the second, policy review committee. Let's see.
Speaking of committees, committee day is next week. Was what? Committee day? A committee day, okay. So committee days are essentially when the committee that you signed up for, we all meet at the end of the SGA. And kind of just touch base, make sure you've got like meetings figured out if you don't want to meet through at the end of the SGA, or figure out what your kind of plan of action is for that week, for that month, or whatever. It's at the end of every month. Any Senate reports from senators? Senator, I don't know if you have a Senator.
There's not really a Senate report or anything. It's just, I've been working with the college Democrats and college Republicans for the past weeks, this past couple weeks. We're trying to have a debate because I'm with JQAS, and we kind of like have a definitive date already for the 13th of November. There's going to be a debate between college Democrats and Republicans. And you guys will have enough like spread the word to constituents for the actually attend, because we know it's a liberal college, but it's really important to actually keep the conversation going, because one side's in the right line. So, and also one of the benefits for freshmen, we get a 5th hour requirement fit, it's a good fit to actually attend, and document for your 5th hour requirement for like the core requirement fit. Because as a freshman, you guys have to have a 5th hour requirement fit. So this tries to spread one out to your constituents so I don't know. And like I said, the day we actually have currently right now is 13th of November, and it's going to be a debate between each other and Democrats and Republicans. And I'll also like give many thanks to Senator Lewis and Senator Carrillo for kind of like work with me, because it's not easy, because that's couple of weeks trying to get it together. Well, we've actually had a good anyway, so if you guys have any other questions, just kind of let me know, and I'll be sure to answer those questions for you people. Yeah.
Where did you say it was?
So right now, we already applied to St. Mary's Hall. That's what we utilize it. I haven't heard back from them yet. I'm waiting for OSA to get that the day, but I tried to November 13th for the application thing, so I'm just waiting for them to like get back to me to see like they're like, you know, setting stuff and stuff. Because we already had flyers, I'm just waiting for the date. And also former foreign diplomats going to be moderating that day. So like I said, just to keep the conversation going to make sure the campus really supposed to be, you know, active and stuff. So I'll be sure to take any questions we got that. It's gonna be foreign policy, so nothing domestic, so that will be civil. It's gonna be literally like U.S. relations with Iran, you know, with the latest tension about the nuclear weapons. And not Iran, like, you know, like Saudi Arabia's like, you know, oil refineries and stuff. So it's gonna be centered about U.S. United States relationship towards Iran. And if whether President Trump's policies are actually helping pull on the United States. So nothing domestic, so that way it's kind of like objective, not looking things, it's just based on facts, foreign policy facts and stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any others? Senator Amaro. President Amaro.
I was just an SGA thing or not, but I have one constituents that have asked me about like after showers because they're closed off until winter break. What? So we have one shower has like boarded up and it's like offline until winter break. The other one is sign in it. The other one like it only works for on a tiny bit. And it's like boiling hot and it's super cold. And like other wings are also experiencing this. I don't know who to bring this to. Because they were like, you're an yes. Have you talked to the rest at all? No, I was supposed to talk because they were like, you're an SGA, ask SGA. And I was like, okay. So, if you're already doesn't already know about it, I mean, she's having extra showers in there. So right, I'm stupid. But like, I would see, if she hasn't already been contracted with me, Bresley and Evans, if I were you, I would definitely take those steps. And I feel like they're right over here in Glendale Industries on the hall. I feel like, yo, our showers are not working. What
what can I do so that I can take a shower?
Yeah.
That's definitely a problem, and you definitely want to be comfortable. So I would definitely talk to, I'll talk to them.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Danielle Brush. Talk to Danielle.
Derek Young is also this year.
How's Derek Young?
There takes all my clothes.
Yeah.
So I would go to Danielle Brush. That's her specific.
Any other senator reports? Okay, any announcements? Anything? Okay. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
That's crazy, guys. We were here for less than an hour. That's amazing.